you've just bought some comics. What do you do with them? I boiled it down to 4 basic categories, although there is some crossover between them. We're going to save, slab, sell, spec. Let's talk about it next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Finally, I figured out the 3,500 subscriber giveaway. We're going to be giving away this copy of Flash Rebirth, #1, reintroduction of Barry Allen to DC Comics, Secret Wars Battle World #1, and Invincible Iron Man 170 newsstand. First time that Rhodey puts on the Iron Man armor. These are going to be the giveaway. The way to enter the giveaway, the 3,500 subscriber giveaway, is we're going to do the drawing on Tuesday the 7th, March 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern. And in order to be eligible, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. You have to have liked the video and left a comment. What I'm going to do is, of all the videos that I recorded and dropped during the month of February, I'm going to pick the one with the fewest comments at the time of the drawing, and that's going to be the one. We're going to randomly select one winner, and you're going to get all 3 of these books. I will ship internationally, so if you're interested, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment on any of my videos from February. And the one that has the fewest comments when we do the drawing on March 7th is going to be the one that we'll select the winner from. Good luck. Hey, comic book community, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Follow us on socials, Instagram at Bronzeville_comics, whatnot, Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a link in the description to this video where you can get $10 off your first purchase if you've not yet used whatnot. There's also a link in the description to my email, my eBay store, and to the website for King Con 4 coming up March 25th and 26th in Island, New Jersey. You're going to see so many of your favorite YouTube content creators, Instagram content creators. You're going to see 360 Comics, Streetside Anthony, Erod 212 with the New York Warriors, Very Gary, Goodbye. And I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of people out. It's a great time. If you're anywhere near Central Jersey on that weekend, come stop by and say hello. I'll be set up there, so we can talk comics, and maybe you'll find something you like. So the purpose of this video, I wanted to break down how to, and this is something I've been working on / struggling with, because the collector side of me wants to keep everything. But kind of realizing what are my goals with particular books. And I have it in 4 basic categories. Okay. Now the categories kind of have offshoots. There's save, slab, sell, spec. There may be crossover there. Okay. So, when I'm going through a pile of books, or I just bought books at a show or got a collection in, what do I want to do with these books? Okay. And when I'm at a show or something, and I kind of have an idea in mind of what I want to do with the books. So the first category is save. These are comic books for my personal collection. So I'm going to just go through a stack of each type of comic and talk about some of the and talk about some of the details in what I talk about with each of these groups. So save. So I just picked up a bunch of comic books that are in my to-read pile. And this is kind of an optimistic approach to what I'm ever going to get to. And there's also a crossover here. So this Marvel Team Up #1, this is one of the keys from 1971. This book is not quite in gradable condition. Okay. But I have another copy somewhere, and I'm not sure which is better. So sometimes With some of these books, is it a PC upgrade? Especially when I find books for cheap. There were books that I had as a kid. Like I find All-Star Comics, the 58 to 74 1970s run. I collected that as a kid. I'm not sure what shape they're in since I was, like 9 to 12 years old when that series came out. I bought a Batman collection, and what I do is I put a little sticky on what year the book is from. Sometimes a condition as well. And I put these in my to-read pile. Now, what might eventually happen, so these are all from that Batman collection, some really cool Silver Age, early Silver Age Batmans. And then I had gotten Whatnot. There was a seller, a Hell Destroyer, was doing a whole bunch of, these are high-grade Green Lantern books. Some of these books I already have, so what's going to happen is eventually when I catalog my Green Lanterns, and I'm very low-key trying to finish this run. If I see these books are cheap, I'll pick them up. So that was kind of, these are all in my to-read pile. Some of these are copies I already have, so I'm going to have to compare to see if it's an upgrade. And I also have a box of PC upgrade books. Books that I know I've had forever, and I might have better copies. So that is a time commitment to go back through my original collection, book by book, and see what the grade is. Now, in some cases, I know what the grade is, so I don't need to do that with books that I already have. That brings us to our next category of books, which is Slab. So I have boxes that I put books in when I go through a collection or pick books up that I want to get graded. Now, some of them I want to get graded, and this is a book that I picked up recently. Most of the books, because I do my own cleaning and pressing for the most part, which takes time. I did have the last week off for vacation, so I did get quite a few books done in that time period, but mostly I'm working on books that I had picked up a while ago, but these are more recent pickups. So this is kind of a combination. This Daredevil 105, I put in what I think the approximate grade is, and I also wrote down Spec. So this is to be slabbed, right? Now, when I get to this book, I'm going to take a closer look. I do have one of these that I just, I'm putting in an order to go out soon, because there's Spec around. This is the first appearance of Moondragon as Moondragon. Maybe she'll appear in the MCU, and I have some higher grade books that are worth, a 7.5 is probably worth about $100. But could be a 7.5 if we see her in Guardians 3, let's say, is going to increase in value. So there's speculation there. This is another book. This is, I think, a potential 9.8 newsstand. I picked this up off eBay for the express purpose of slabbing it, hoping to get a 9.8. X-Men 5, first full cover of Omega Red. This is also a book I had picked up, I think, as part of a collection. This next book is a book that is a kind of unintended CPR candidate, at least the C part of it. It came in a case that was cracked to heck. I got a really good deal on it. This was I believe, a 4.0 copy of Flash 110, the first appearance of Kid Flash, and also the first appearance of Weather Wizard. This is a book that it was shipped in a bubble mail. The slab was cracked beyond salvaging. Fortunately, the book was fine, so I'm going to just CPR it. I'm going to PR it, press it, and resubmit it. Hopefully we get a grade bump, because there is a slight subscription crease down the center, which I don't think breaks color. This book, I put in my CGC pile, not to submit it, but it is like really water damaged. I just want to flatten it out before I sell it. Another book, first Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Alan Scott crossover, and first appearance of Corona. 9.8 pre-screen candidate. I usually give these books the once over if I think that they're 9.8 pre-screens. This is a book I just recently got. I already have Sea Devils #1. This is Showcase 27, right? 27? First appearance of Sea Devils, a really nice copy. But I also put a question mark. Is it a candidate for stain removal? There is a little bit of a water stain down in the bottom corner here, which you can't see on the front cover because, well, they're in the water anyway. Beautiful Russ Heath cover. I mean, oh my goodness. I do have to experiment potentially with the stain removal technique. There's that. First appearance of Miss Martian. That would go in a 9.8 pre-screen, as with this first Yara Flor and the first Jackson Hyde Batman, Aqualad. I'm thinking ahead. I have a first Silver Age Penguin in here, lower grade. The center wraps, I think, 3 of them. At least the centerfold is detached. I got this as part of a collection. I do have an already graded, I think, 3.5. So that is a case where I will move the lower value copy into the sell pile. Johnny Quest #1. I got this. It's a nice solid mid-grade. You might have seen my recent Dell thing. I just found this in a box. I had not yet put it in my CGC thing because it's a personal collection book. I am keeping this unless I somehow come across a better copy. And then I also found this. This was part of a collection. It's a Detective Comics. What number is this? It's not a key, but it's 265 from 1959. I think it's a 6.5. If I think it can get a 6.5 or better after cleaning a press, then I think it's like got maybe a $200 plus price tag on it, and that would be worth submitting. So those are Slab. I'm going to submit these books to be graded. Some of them I will save in my personal collection. Some of them I will sell, and some of them I will spec on. I will hold until I do sell them. Let's talk about save, slab, sell. So let's talk about books that I'm going to sell. I was going through, boxes of books and saying to myself, do I want to keep this particular book or can I move on from it? This is a pretty hard to find Hulk versus Venom book. This, I think you had to order as a giveaway. So I had bought this at a show. If I can get a profit on it, I was looking at it initially hoping that it could be a 9.8. It's not. So I'll move on from that. This is a book I already have gotten graded, and the spec. This is, I think, the first. This is the first something mention of Cthon. I think this is the first mention of Cthon. I might be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. This is a mid-grade, not worth getting slabbed. Same with this. This would have to be a 9.8. I think, unfortunately, I picked this up off of eBay for some strange reason. And it's in really nice shape, but not 9.8 condition. Then I had bought an eBay lot. You saw the Moondragon before. A lot of books around it, including a couple that are in really beautiful shape. This is nice Gil Kane cover. That's a very fine. And this one is really nice. This is a very fine near mint. This is a really sharp copy of a 20-cent Daredevil. This next book, I actually have a really sharp copy. I got this as part of a collection. A really sharp copy going out to CGC soon of Fantastic Four 94, the first appearance of Agatha Harkness. The problem with this is I found it was glue on the staple. Again, this was part of a collection. And so it's not really worth getting graded. I'm going to disclose that and try to sell it. Then this is a book. Lobo's been hot lately. This is another book. I have the next two. I have a Swamp Thing #1. Swamp Thing was just announced. We're getting a movie. I already have a graded 7.0. This would not be an upgrade, so I can move on from this one. A lot of times with graded books, in certain cases, I would keep a reader. This is too good to be a reader. A reader, it would be like a 3. This is more like a 5 or a 6. Okay. Similarly with this, I think I got this back in a graded 9.2. So it is time to Marvel Spotlight 4. First appearance of the Darkhold. Don't need that anymore. And then just some random books. I've been picking this up. I already have a high grade copy. I haven't gotten that graded. Just because I like the story, I probably will get my PC copy graded. Just some other books that I don't need to keep in the personal collection. I think some of these I picked up at an estate sale. And when I took a closer look at them, they weren't worth getting graded. Now, the one thing is, that estate sale I went to was on Black Friday 2021. I got some really good deals. I did not pay fair market value for most of the books in that estate sale. I was paying $2, $5. There was some speculation around this, but we haven't heard anything about that recently. So just some random stuff that I'm going to sell. The problem was, like, I put stuff in my to be slabbed pile, and then when I finally got around to cleaning and pressing it, I realized the book that, in let's say a 9.0 was worth $200 a year and a half ago is now an $80 book in a 9.0. So probably not worth getting it graded. That brings us to our last category, and that's spec. Now, this is something that I have not been good about organizing in the past. I'm trying to get better at, is my speculation box. These are characters that I feel have a chance to come into movies or TV that we haven't yet and haven't popped. And, kind of when they do, that would be the time to sell the books. Like, for instance, I had a run of the early issues of Superman Batman. I had the whole run sitting there to sell, and then all of a sudden issue number 8 pops, pulled that out. That was spec. This is first appearance of Bumblebee. So I put a little sticky note on there and what I feel the grade is. So if we ever see Bumblebee, I think she's a cool character. This is one of the Jessica Cruz cameos. This is a variant cover. Just like 50. First appearance of Checkmate in a newsstand. If it was like a 9.8 candidate, I'd get it graded. First appearance of Katana, as well as Geoforce and Halo, the Outsiders. I'm specking on Naomi. I'm picking up these keys cheap. I'm waiting for a little more news on Lobo. Again, this was not good enough to get graded. You can see I put a little sticky there. First Arrowette. Who knows? Just kind of throw that deep in a box. Paid almost nothing for it. First appearance of Grimjack. There was... I have a bunch of these. The Russo brothers were connected to a possible Grimjack movie. That news is probably about 2 years old now. So I don't know if that's going anywhere. Second appearance of Luke Cage. This is a nice copy, but I also put down on here, Whitening Candidate. If I ever get to the point where I feel confident with those. Another character I've been speculating on is Black Orchid. Her first appearance in Adventure Comics 428. If this was a 9.8 candidate, I would send it in. It's not. Got a couple of little dings in it. First appearance of Professor Pig. Another book that has been a speculation book for a while. This is Fantastic Four 185, the first appearance of Nicholas Scratch, the son of Agatha Harkness. Boy, they've been speculating on this book since WandaVision. This character we know is coming, but I'm gonna wait till I already sold one copy. I'm gonna hold on to this one till maybe we see her on screen because I don't think people are fully aware. I don't know how they're gonna use her, but the first appearance of Sabra. And then some deep ones that just I throw in the box that I pick up in dollar bins. First appearance of Magpie right there. And a newsstand. I mean, it is an overly printed Man of Steel 3. And this is a Brother Power the Geek Vertigo Vision special. I got it. Why not just hold on to it? There is no more ridiculous character that DC owns, I don't think, than Brother Power the Geek. And so... could James Gunn use him? Absolutely. And then who's going to have that book? So anyway, that's how I kind of separate out my collection. There are subdivisions within there, but basically it's a box of stuff to save that goes into my read pile. Part of that saving is PC upgrade. There's a box of stuff to clean and press and send out to get graded. There's quite a few boxes of that. There's a speculation box. And then there's stuff that I'm going to sell, mostly on Whatnot. Some of the more esoteric stuff, if it has a much more niche audience, I would go with eBay as an avenue of selling. And some of the stuff I'm going to be bringing to King Con 4. So let me know what you think. How do you separate your collection? Some people keep everything for the personal collection. Some people, like to slab up some books. At this point, I'm kind of looking for books that I think, in part, are potential 9.8 candidates that if I can get them raw and then clean press and grade them and send them out, or, I've always been kind of looking at that avenue, clean press and submit to improve the value of the book. And it's also nice to have that. The graded books have more liquidity because anybody can know what the the approximate value is, and what the condition is. So they're a lot easier to move in that regard. Obviously, not everybody wants them, but that's an entirely different conversation. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. This is, in the meantime, again, leave some comments on how you separate out your collection. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.